Albert Fairfax. Albert Fairfax. Albert Fairfax. Albert Fairfax. Albert Fairfax. It's me, Albert Fairfax. Albert Fairfax, the conservative icon. Albert Fairfax. Welcome to the Albert Fairfax Show. I'm your host, Albert Fairfax. Folks, today we have a real treat for you, something real special. So today I have a guest, the leader, the most prominent member of the Walk Away from the Left movement, otherwise known as #WalkAway. Her name is Laura Boomhaur. One of the left's most prominent leftists has turned coats, so to speak, in response to rising leftist demagoguery. I consider her to be the female baby boomer version of David Rubin, and I mean that in the most sincerely intellectual and complimenting sort of way. So Laura, welcome to the program. Hi, my name's Laura Boomhaur. Well, welcome to the show, Laura Boomhaur. So, I just wanted to say here today that I'm very grateful to you, Albert, because your intelligence is unparalleled. Your intellect is very high on off the charts when you really think about it. Well, why? Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Laura, for saying that. So, Laura, just tell us a little bit about yourself as a leftist, or at least former leftist. Well, Albert, I consider myself to be one of the most leftists of all. I'm an admirer of leftists of all complexions and all ideologies, which really makes me the most leftist of all. I like Stalin, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Ocasio-Cortez. I like policies, like Marxism and Maoism and liberalism and neoliberalism and Medicare for all and the Affordable Health Care Act and the carbon tax and the decommodification of property. I believe in all those things. So it really makes me, the most leftist that you'll ever. I'm the biggest leftist ever. Wow, that's very interesting. I would normally, be angry right now, but I'm keeping my cool. So, anyways, what made you turn away from leftism? Well, Albert, what made me turn away from the left, to #WalkAway, the incivility of the left towards your conservatives and thinkers like Stephen Crowder and Ben Shapiro and Albert Fairfax, you yourself, the incivility shown by the left has really isolated me. The left has left me. So I've been forced to #WalkAway. Wow. So where on the political spectrum do you find yourself? Well, Albert, I feel like, now that the left has left me, and then I walked away from the left hashtag, is the most logical thing for me to do is to become a right-winger. The most logical thing is like, which is why I am now voting for Ted Cruz for Senate against Beto O'Rourke. I deleted my old Twitter, and now my name is Deplorable Laura on my new Twitter. So, this is just a message to all the other leftists out there that it's totally rational and logical to #walk away from the left, over a disagreement about the way the left does things, and to completely go over to the other side. It shows consistency, rationality, and logic. So And, I just wanted to thank you, Albert. I'm going to buy all your books because, you really have a lot to educate me about. Well, Laura, thank you. Laura, thank you for coming to the show, and and showing us all that anybody can hashtag walk away from the left. Okay, because the most important thing is to accept civility, and to accept conservative values. But anybody can be a conservative, really, except Muslims. But and that's the point here. A true conservative is tolerant of other points of views. And Laura, I just wanted to thank you for coming onto my show. Well, thank you, Albert. So, that's it for this segment. So, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then you're going to hear a little bit more of the Albert Fairfax Show. All right? Albert Fairfax here. Folks, people are always saying, we need universal health care because if you can't afford insurance, you're going to die. Well, you know what? I'm here to prove those libs wrong, okay? So what I did is I canceled my health insurance. And, when you know it, I have to get my gallbladder removed. I don't have insurance. Well, guess what? Albert Fairfax now has a GoFundMe. That's right, folks. My own fans can fund my own gallbladder removal surgery. Together, we can show the libs that through the good work of charity, through love and respect of your fellow man, the free market can fund healthcare for those who can't afford it, okay? Like myself temporarily. So how about, go to www.albertfairfax.com and let's show the libs that the free market does work by donating to my GoFundMe today. Welcome back to the Albert Fairfax Show. I'm your host, Albert Fairfax. Folks, another thing that I want to talk to today is the subject of the debate between white privilege and whether that exists, and white genocide and whether that exists. As somebody of intellect like myself, I like to see both sides of the issue before coming to a conclusion. So let's just start off with the hoax that is white privilege. The idea that white men are somehow higher up in this imaginary hierarchy compared to all other races. They'll cite they'll cite studies and they just do these things. They just find things to get mad about. Whether it's the justice system. They'll talk about how blacks are convicted at a higher rate than whites, even when you controlled for the same criminal background and the same crime. Listen, you can do study after study, okay, but as we all know, it's what we experience in life that really determines whether something is true. And if white privilege is real, then why am I always blocked on Tinder? Why have I not had sex in 3 years? It's because white privilege doesn't exist. But I'll tell you what does exist, folks. It's white genocide. Okay? It's the main character of Star Wars being a black man. Okay? It's the perpetuation of all of these actors and writers who are of non-white origin, whether they're black or Irish or Jewish. I don't have a problem with the Jewish people. I support Israel's right to defend itself. Libs can't get me on that one. Nice try. But that's the thing, is the blocking me on Tinder. That really is what gets me. If you want proof of white genocide, it's right there. It's society being manipulated by the Soroses of the world. Okay, I support Israel's right to defend itself. But it's the Soroses of the world that are molding society to make sure that I don't have sex. My intellect, my pedigree, my wealth that I don't completely have access to right now, but that's because of everything's tied up in the courts, okay? But that's a separate issue for another episode. Make me an ideal candidate for mating. Yet, for some reason, it seems to be, some women, I guess they just, they try to be nice to me, I guess. But I can see, what they're saying. They say, oh, it's just your personality. We just don't, match. And, one of them was even like, I'm going to be honest with you, Albert. Your personality is toxic. Okay, it has nothing to do with anything else. It's just you're just not a very good. It's just your personality is talk about gaslighting. This whole idea of having a quote unquote good personality really just means I have to virtue signal. That I have to tip more than 5% when we go out. The fact that I have to restrain my language around the lesser sex. Fairer but lesser sex. And that's why genocide is real. The whites have been, marginalized. Don't get me wrong, there's probably a time when white privilege did exist. You go back a couple hundred years, which happened to be the best time for humanity, but not subject for another episode. But the whites, after all their contributions to the world, like the compass, compass is a good one, the peanut, gun, okay, all these white inventions that made the world a better place. It really makes you think about, what the thing about the whites, okay, I'm sure there was a time, you go back a couple hundred years, where white privilege exists, but that was a couple hundred years ago. That was a long time ago. It was a better time, but it was a long time ago. I mean, listen, I'm not going to talk about that coincidence right now. I mean, that'll be like that'll be a movie. That'll be a documentary, which I should probably do. I know people. They could do it. I could do it. Hey, Ben Shapiro, if you're listening to this, maybe you could send some of that Coke money over this way, because it's not fair that I have to be the lightning rod for all of Soros's attention. Okay? It'd be nice if you could help, as they say, help a brother out. So, it's something to think about. Ben. I don't know. This episode's completely just gotten out of hand. I don't even know where I am at this point in my life. I've uninstalled Tinder and reinstalled it about 3 times now. I tried Coffee Meets Bagel. I tried Facebook. I tried Craigslist. I tried eBay. I tried the Darknet. I tried Tor. I tried Instagram. I tried Uber. It just feels like I'm being gaslighted by society, It'd be nice. It'd be nice if, I just got what I deserve. But for some reason, I don't have a right to spread my DNA. The fundamental right of every human that has contributed like I have. You contribute, it's effort in and reward out. That's what's about. My family, contributed, my race contributed, and then you get your reward. That's how it works. But instead, these other people, I'm sorry. Namaste. You gotta keep it under control, Albert. Okay, well, that was the Albert Fairfax Show, and I'll catch you again soon. So. Albert Fairfax, Albert Fairfax.